Hurricane Headquarters, sponsored by Entergy.
6:13 on this Tuesday morning. We are tracking Tropical Storm Francine, of course, this morning. Right now, not looking too organized. We have some drier air coming in. It's pretty close to Mexico, so not the best area to do some developing. Now, as it pulls off towards the north and east a little bit later today, away from Mexico, a little bit better chance that this will develop even a bit more. But right now, winds are at 65, moving to the north-northwest at about 5. And they're expecting to become a hurricane later on today as it tracks across that northwestern corner of the Gulf of Mexico. By Wednesday morning, early in the morning, they're expecting winds about 90, and then right before it makes landfall, pretty close to Vermilion Bay, Vermilion Parish there sometime Wednesday afternoon as a Category 2 hurricane. We'll have to wait and see if that materializes, but right now, right before landfall, they're expecting it to strengthen just a little bit. Notice we are well on the west side of this thing, not even in the cone of uncertainty. By the way, that cone is really shrunken in size for this morning. That track is pretty much being locked in. We might see a little wobble here and there. Don't freak out about that if it wobbles a little bit farther to the west. The track is pretty much set. I don't think we're going to see much change in this as we go through today, tomorrow, and into early Thursday morning. Speaking of Thursday, that storm should be up into Mississippi by Thursday early in the morning and down to winds at 60 miles an hour. So what can we look at with this storm? Well, over towards Cameron Parish, we do have a hurricane warning. That means winds could be upwards of 74 or higher as we go through the next 24 to 36 hours. For us here in southeast Texas, we have a tropical storm warning. Basically, that means we could see wind gusts over 39 miles an hour or 39 miles per hour or higher. That includes Orange, Jefferson County, southern parts of Jasper and Newton County. The lakes area, you might see some wind gusts to 30 to 35 tomorrow, but I doubt if you'll see tropical storm force winds. Also, storm surge warning, that's out for Jefferson County. I don't think this is going to be much of a big deal since we're going to be on the western side of this, but there could be a little bit of storm surge down towards Sabine Pass, maybe up to about 3 feet. Most of the area might see a tidal rise of maybe about a foot or so. That's about it. So weather impacts for us, basically some rain, wind starting today, going through tomorrow, maybe about 1 to 3 inches of rain and wind gusts between 25 and 40 miles an hour. Let's go through each section of our viewing area and we'll give you what you can expect over the next day or so. Winds 25 to 40 miles an hour here in the Triangle, maybe some gusts higher than that towards the coast, 2 to 3 inches of rain. As we head towards inland southeast Texas, we're talking about Hardin, southern Jasper, and southern Newton counties. 1 to 2 inches of rain, maybe wind gusts 25 to 40. Tropical storm warning still in effect for this area. And then as you get up towards the lakes area, Tyler, northern Jasper, and northern Newton counties, 25, 35 mile an hour wind gusts, maybe a half an inch to an inch of rainfall. So our effects nothing like they're going to see in Louisiana. Matter of fact, pretty quiet out there this morning, just a lot of cloud cover. Let's go over to Jeremiah Stewart, and he's going to give us the latest on what we can expect as we get through your day today.
Hey, good morning, Jeff. Yeah, looking like a nice forecast, at least for the first half of today. Just tracking partly to mostly cloudy skies this morning ahead of that system in the Gulf of Mexico. Now, by the second half of today, we will start to see some of those bands come in from Francine. But right now, looking outside, courtesy of our Roofing 911 Live Skycam network, just looking at partly to mostly cloudy skies out towards Beaumont. Of course, that temperature right around 73 degrees. Humidity at about 73%, and those winds out of the east and northeast stay at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Of course, it's brought to you by Pack Up Appraise. So 73 right now here in Beaumont. Looking at temperatures across the board, we're all back into the 70s. Right at 70 on the dot in Jasper, Woodville, and Silsbee. Kirbyville sitting at about 72, and then Orange at 74. Down towards Port Arthur, they're sitting at about 76 degrees. So not a bad start out there, just looking at the cloud cover, but as we go into the lunch hour into the afternoon, a good 70% coverage for those showers and storms moving through. Temperatures today back into the middle 80s with winds out of the northeast, say at about 5 to 15, maybe even up to 20 miles per hour with gusts up to 25. Then as we go into tonight, we'll keep that rain in the forecast as Francine gets closer to the Louisiana coast. Winds out of the northeast, say at about 10 to 25 miles per hour, and lows back into the lower to middle 70s. So here's your full weather impact 7-day forecast we have today and tomorrow to deal with the rainfall in the forecast, a good 60 to 70, maybe even up to an 80% coverage as we go into your Wednesday. So for today and tomorrow, we do have a weather impact alert issued for the potential for some heavy rainfall. So not really expecting this to be super impactful for southeast Texas, a good maybe 1 to 3 inches of rainfall as we go throughout tomorrow. But we're on the dry side of this system, so really not expecting to see too much flooding or really any adverse weather as we go into tomorrow for southeast Texas. Really the brunt of it going to be towards Louisiana. That system tracks north, and then we're going to see plenty of sunshine for the weekend and into next week. But we do have a little bit of a chance for some rainfall as we go into next Monday.
The two things to take note of for tomorrow: heavy wind and rain.
Yeah, and even that's not going to be like 1 to 3 inches of rainfall. We can get that in a pretty good shower, thunderstorm. And those winds are going to be gusting off and on. It's not going to be a steady 30 to 40 mile an hour wind. It's going to be gusting up to maybe 30 to 40 miles an hour. So if you have things out in the yard that gets blown around, you might want to bring those in or tie those down or whatever, especially down towards the coast. Once you get away from the coast, you get up into the lakes area, of course, those impacts are going to be even less.
Can we expect flooding in the area because of the rain?
Not anything too widespread. We could see some ponding on some of the streets if we get some of those heavier downpours, but really not looking like anything too widespread. Most of the rainfall going to be confined towards Louisiana.
Seems like this won't be anything that we haven't had the past few weeks, because we've had a lot of rain and wind, you know, which is good for us. But.
Yeah, now if you're trying to travel over towards Louisiana, if you can hold off and not go that direction tomorrow, of course, because you'll be driving right into a hurricane. So travel to the east, not encouraged tomorrow. West of us, most of Texas won't even see hardly any impacts from this at all.
Sounds good. Thanks for breaking that all down, guys.
Of course.